Hello friends, my great pleasure to welcome you to my channel as a graphics and multimedia. My name is Rafi Yakub, and in today's video you are going to learn how to create social media food banner in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. But before we dive deep into tutorial, if you are very new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe, turn on notification bell, so each time I post content about Photoshop tutorial you will be notified. So with that being said, let's dive into tutorial and see how to create social media food banner in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. So let's begin. So the first thing you want to do is to go to File from the Home tab right here, and make sure you click on New. So the next thing you want to do is to come to the top right here and title your design Fast Food Banner. Now the next thing you want to do is to come to inches from here and make sure you switch from inches to pixel. Then you have to come to the width property right here. Under the width column, make sure you type in 1341. Then you come to the height column, make sure you type in 1341. Then make sure your resolution is 300, and then you come to the color mode right here. Make sure you switch from CMYK to RGB. Then you come down below right here and make sure you click on create. The next thing you want to do is to come to your layer panel right here. Make sure you click on adjusted layer from the bottom right here, and then you have to go to solid color. Then from the point here you can change your color right here. So you can see the color code I use at this point here. Then you click on OK. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is to come back to your layer panel right here. Make sure you create a new layer. Then having make a new layer, then next thing you need to do is to go to your toolbar right here. Click and hold that. And this time around we have to choose rectangle tool. And having choose rectangle tool, we have to come to the rectangle property from the top right here. Make sure shape is checked, and you can change the color from here to whatever color of your choice. So I'm choosing white for now, and make sure there is no stroke fill right here. No stroke fill. Once you format your rectangle shape, then you have to come to the artwork and make sure you draw your rectangle. This you want to do is to go back to your layer panel right here. Right click on the layer and make sure you look for duplicate layer right here. Then you can make this rectangle 2, and then you click on OK. Sending the rectangle 2 right here, you have to go to edit from the point here, and you have to make sure you look for free transform, and you have to make sure you adjust this a little bit. Then you take it to the top. Then you have to go back to edit from the home tab right here. Make sure you click on free transform, and you increase it a little bit. Once you satisfy, you come to the top right here, click on this check mark to approve the transform. The next thing we're going to do is to go back to the layer right here, and we press shift key and select the second layer. Then we have to come down below right here. We make sure we group this layer. Then having grouped the layer, we have to go to we have to right click again, and we make sure we duplicate group. Then we can call this group 2, and we click on OK. Next thing we want to do right here is to go to home tab right here. We go to edit. Then we have to look for free transform. Then we have to adjust this out a little bit, and we make sure we maintain the same gap interval. And we have to right click. We make sure we flip to vertical. Then having flipped to the vertical, one thing you want to do right here is that we need to adjust this shape right here. So we have to adjust it down a little bit. Once we satisfy with the adjustment, we come to the top right here, click on this check mark. Then we have to locate this layer right here. Then we have to go to edit from the home tab right here. We make sure we click on free transform. Then we have to adjust the size. Once we satisfy, we come to the top right here and we'll click on this check mark to accept the transform. Then we have to select on the group and we make sure we take it to the top a little bit. Then we have to locate this group right here and we go to edit. Then we make sure we look for free transform and we need to adjust this to the top a little bit. Once we satisfy, we have to click on here to accept the transform. Now we have to make sure we close the true group. Right here, we close this group. And then one thing we need to do is to select the background layer. Then having selected the background layer, we have to go back to our toolbar right here. We click and hold down. We choose our rectangle again. Having choose our rectangle, then we have to make another rectangle. So the next thing we need to do is to make sure that this rectangle is properly aligned. We can double click on the layer thumbnail right here and we change the color from the point here so that I'll be able to differentiate. Okay. Now what we need to do is to make sure this is aligned to the center of this group 2. So we have to locate the group 2 right here and we have to press Ctrl key down and select the group 2 from the layer right here. Then you have to go to the top right here, make sure you align. Boom. So it has been properly aligned. So what we need to do next is that we need to select this particular shape right here, rectangle right here, and we can ungroup all these elements. We have to right click. We make sure we ungroup all the layers. We select on the group 2 again. We right click. We make sure we ungroup all the layers. Now, what we need to do right here is to select all the layer one after the other. We can start from the rectangle 3 layer. Then we press Shift key on our keyboard. We select the rectangle 2 layer. So this allows us to select all the layer. Also, what we're going to do next is to go back to our home tab right here. We click on edit. Then we have to come down right here. We make sure we click on our free transform. Having clicked on free transform, we have to right click. And then we make sure we look for skew. Then from the top right here, we have to skew this way. Then we can right click again and we make sure we look for skew. And we can skew more at the top from the top right here. So once we satisfy, we have to come to the top right here. And we click on confirm the transform. Next thing we want to do is to come down below right here. This time around, we have to make sure we group all the shape. Having grouped all the shape, the next thing we want to do is to go to the home tab right here. We go to select. Make sure you select all. Then we have to align to vertical center and horizontal center. So after we have aligned properly, we need to go back to select and we click on the select. So you are done with that. Next thing we want to do is to bring in pictures to all this particular shape right here. We can start from the rectangle 1 shape right here. So then we have to go to home tab. We click on file. Then we make sure we look for place embedded. After we have input all the pictures to the banner, next thing we need to do is to locate this particular shape right here, and we have to take it out of the group. Okay, so for us to do that, we have to make sure we come to the layer right here, and we have to select the group. Then we have to right click, then we make sure we look for ungroup all layers. Then having ungroup it, then we have to locate the right layer that we need to take out of them. So right here, this is the layer right here, so this one right here. So then the next thing we need to do is to select the rectangle one. Then we have to go back to the top image right here from the layer. Then we have to press shift key and select this layer. Then we come down right here, we make sure we group the layer again. Having grouped the layer, then we have to right click, and then we look for blending option from the top right here. So for us to add the layer style, so the first thing we need to do is to double click on the stroke right here. So we need to add stroke to all these image right here, so we can increase the stroke width from the top right here. After you are satisfied with the stroke width, so I make the stroke width, the stroke size is 8 right here, and the opacity here is 100, and the stroke position is outside, so you can see everything right here. So the next thing you want to do is to add drop shadow. Double click on the drop shadow right here to effect the drop shadow. Then you have to come here, make the drop shadow normal, and you can increase the distance of the shadow right here. So control the spread of the shadow, and then control the size of the shadow. Then you can pick the color of the shadow from the top right here. You can increase the shadow color to be more darkened black, and click on OK. Then you can increase the shadow size from the point right here. So you can also increase the spread. So right here we have distance to be 31, and the spread is 41, the size is 53. So once you are satisfied with the layer style, then you have to come to the top here, and you click on OK right here. Click on OK. So next thing we want to do is to locate this layer now. Then we have to right click on the layer. We go to blending options. Then right here we have to double click on gradient overlay. So you can see right here, the opacity is 100%, the angle is 180 angle, and I can make the spread, the scale to be, so the scale is 116 right here. So once you're satisfied with the gradients, you have to come right here, click on OK. All right.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these dreams I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread, with every word